Imperial Knights and the Chaos Knights. So we'll start with the Imperial Knights. Right here in Adamant Clad. Jump down and see what they give us for faction rules. The faction rule is Code Chivalric. If your army faction is Imperial Knights, at the end of the Read Mission Objective step, you must select one of the oaths below to be active for your army. Models from your army with this ability gain the associated oath ability, and you gain the associated deed to complete. If at the start of any of your command phases your selected oath's deed is completed, your army becomes honored for the rest of the battle, and you gain 3 CP. You can only gain CP in this way once per battle. Alright, so you have 2 different oaths to pick, and you pick them right after you figure out what the mission is. Alright, so the first one is Lay Low the Tyrant. Oath ability. Each time this model is selected to shoot or fight, reroll a hit roll of 1 and reroll a wound roll of 1. Alright, so each time they shoot or fight, you can reroll a hit roll of 1 and reroll a wound roll of 1. So is it just one of each? So you just get to reroll 1, 1, and 1, 1, or you get to reroll any of them? I would assume it's just 1, because giving them full rerolls all the time, just for picking this, would be probably a little too strong for Knights. So I'm assuming that's just 1 hit and 1 wound roll of the enemy warlord is destroyed. So you kill the enemy's warlord, you gain 3 CP the next command phase. Alright, then Reclaim the Realm. Oath ability. Add 1 inch to this model's move characteristics and 1 inch to advance and charge rolls made for this model. This deed is completed if you control 1 or more objective markers in your opponent's deployment zone. Alright, so those aren't that easy to complete depending on what your enemy's warlord is. A lot of times they're hard to get to, and controlling objectives in your opponent's deployment zone isn't that easy. So if you do them, it'll probably be more late game, giving you 3 CP at the end toward end game, which could be useful. So just in 1 hit roll of 1, 1 wound roll of 1, and then 1 inch to your move, advance and charge. They're okay, not super strong, not nothing, but yeah, that's not super impressively jumping out to me. If you can pull it off and get the 3 CP, that would be great, but the rest of it's just okay, in my opinion. Then you get the Noble Lance attachment roll. All Imperial Knight models from your army have the Feel No Pain 6+ ability. If your army is honored, those models have the Feel No Pain 5+ ability. Alright, so if you're able to pull off your deed, your whole army goes to 5+ Feel No Pain instead of a 6+ Feel No Pain. But on models with that many wounds, the 6 up Feel No Pain isn't that bad because it gives you a couple extra wounds. So that's okay. That's useful for Knights. Then they're giving us a Warglaive. 12-inch move, toughness 10, 3 up save, 12 wounds, leadership 7, objective control 8. Alright, so toughness 10, so that's a little higher than a Rhino. So they got +3 toughness basically. That's pretty nice. Decent stat profile for the Warglaive. Then you get Melt-A-Gun, has Melt-A-2, 12-inch range, 1 attack, 3 up to hit, strength 9, -4 d6 damage. Within 6 inches, you get to be d6 +2 damage. Then you get the Questoris Heavy Stubber, Rapid Fire 3, 36-inch range, 3 shots. At 18, you'll get 6 shots. Hits on 3, strength 4, -1 damage. Thermal Spear is Melt-A-4, 24-inch range, 2 shots, 3 up to hit, strength 12, -4 d6. So at 12 inches, you'll be in d6 +4. So they're getting the strength 12 and the +4. This is going to be a lot better than the regular Meltas are in the vehicles right now. Although I do believe it lost about 6 inches of range. I believe they were 30 inches before. Then combat, you got your Reaper Chain Cleaver. It has a strike and a sweep. So 4 attacks to 8 attacks. Both hit on 3. Strength 10 to strength 8. -3 to -2. 3 damage to 1 damage. Alright, that's fairly solid. Decent shooting, decent combat. Pretty much what you should have out of a Warglaive, I think. Then it gets Impetuous Glory. Each time this model makes a charge move until the end of the turn, melee weapons equipped by this model have the Sustained Hits 1 ability. Alright, so if you do the sweep, you should get at least 1 extra hit every time, and With 4 attacks, you'll get an extra hit more times than you won't, most likely. So, not bad. And then once he's down to 4 wounds, you subtract 1 from his hit rolls, and he has a built-in 5-up invul against ranged attacks only. Alright, so nothing I'd complain about there. Nothing shocking. All pretty. Looks pretty decent for a Warglaive. Then they give us Canis Rex. If Canis Rex is destroyed, flip this card over and follow instructions for using Sir Hector. They don't show us that. So Canis Rex still pops out the Sir Hector if it dies, but we'll have to wait till the index to see that. So 10-inch move, T12, 3-up save, 22 wounds, leadership 5, objective control 10. That's really nice. Then he has the Chainbreaker Lazimpulsor. Has a high intensity and a low intensity. Both are blast. Both sustained hits 1, so 6 hits, 3 extra hits. 24 inches, 36 inches, D6 to 2D6, both hit on 2s, strength 14 to strength 7, neg 3 to neg 1, 4 damage to 2 damage. Alright, it's a solid weapon. A Chainbreaker Multi-Laser, sustained hits 1, 36 inch range, 4 attacks, 2 up to hit, strength 6, AP 1 damage. Oh look, everything he has sustained hit, so easily popping out extra hits. Freedom's Hand has a strike and a sweep. Strength 5 or 5 attacks to 10 attacks, both hit on 2s. Strength 20 to strength 10, neg 3 to neg 2, 9 damage to 3 damage. Alright, that's a very powerful weapon. No warrior options. Is a Epic Hero. He's equipped with Chainbreaker Lazimpulsor, Multi-Laser, and Freedom's Hand. Alright, so yeah, that's all the weapons they list. So yeah, there's no upgrades. That's what he's got all the time. Deadly Demise D6, blows up D6. Blows up within 6 inches for D6 mortals. Coach Volveric, Super Heavy Walker. I don't know that we've seen what Super Heavy Walker does, so we'll have to wait and see what that is. Legendary Freeblade. Once per turn, you can target this model with a stratagem for 0 CP, and you do this so even if you've already targeted a different unit with that stratagem in the same phase. Alright, that's nice. A free stratagem, and you can reuse one. So if they do have their Rotate Ion Shields, you can do it on someone else and then do it on him for free. Although if you're playing against them, I guess you would shoot him first and make him use it, because he can do it for free even if it's been used by a different unit, but it doesn't say another unit can use it if he's used it first. So that's one way to try to get around that, force him to do it first. Chainbreaker, each time this model makes an attack, on an unmodified successful hit roll of 5 plus scores a critical hit. Alright, so all these sustained hit 1s are going to be popping off on 5s instead of 6s, so twice as effective. So yeah, that's pretty good. Then once he's down to 7 wounds, strike with a hit roll, 5-up invul, also only against ranged attacks. So he has Vehicle, Walker, Titanic, Towering, restores character, Epic Hero. Towering, I think, is the thing that lets you not get some of the terrain benefits that other people get. We'll see what Titanic does, and Walker. And yes, Sir Hector can still get out. And then they give us Weapon Spotlight. They're giving us the Thundercoil Harpoon. Alright, we don't see much of this knight out there very much, but we'll see if you start seeing it more. So anti-monster 4+, anti-vehicle 4+, devastating wounds. Alright, so if he hits a monster or a vehicle with it, if he gets a 4-up to wound, it's going to be doing mortals. So 18-inch range, only 1 attack. Hits on 2s though, strength 24, neg 6 AP, flat 12 damage. So unless they have an invul save, you're probably not going to need to do the mortals. But if they do, you guys have a 50-50 chance of doing 12 mortals as long as you hit. Alright, and then if you roll a 1, if you take the 1 Layla the Tyrant or whatever, and you roll a 1 on your wound, you get to re-roll it. So it's actually, if you save the reroll for that, so it's actually better than a 50-50 chance of doing the 12 mortals. So you do that into a regular unit, that's carried through. And then what else did they give us? The Rapid Fire Battle Cannon. Alright, this was one of the main weapons you saw. Blast, Rapid Fire D6 plus 3. So 72-inch range, D6 plus 3. So if you're within 36 inches, you're going to be doing 2d6 plus 6. And having Blast add on top of it. Alright, that thing is putting out some shots. Hits on 3, strength 10, neg 1, 3 damage. Alright, that's a very solid weapon. Alright, I'm really liking these knight profiles so far. They're looking pretty good. I actually just sold my knights a couple months ago, so kind of regretting that at the moment, but luckily they're not an army that's that hard to build. You only need a couple models. But knights are looking pretty good so far. Let's see what their stratagem is. Shoulder the burden. Your command phase, 1 Imperial Knights model from your army that has lost 1 or more wounds. Till the start of your next command phase, improve your model's move, toughness, save, leadership, and objective control characteristics by 1. And each time your model makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. Alright, so it's +1 to hit and +1 to move, toughness, save, leadership, and objective control. That's really nice. On the restrictions, you can only use this stratagem once per battle. If your army is honored, you can use this stratagem 1 additional time. Alright, so you can only use it once, but if you become honored, you can use it again. Alright, that's just solid. I mean, you're already strength 12, going to strength 13. The save is nice. Leadership, +1 save is really nice. And then the +1 hit. So those two, I think, are the real keys to this strat. The rest is just, okay, it's bonus on top of it. Then they give us another stratagem, Trophy Claim. In your shooting phase or the fight phase. Now, it's your shooting phase or the fight phase. So it could be either player's fight phase. 1 Imperial Knight model from your army that has not been selected to shoot or fight this phase, and 1 enemy monster vehicle unit. Till the end of the phase, each time your model makes an attack that targets that enemy unit, add 1 to the wound roll. If your model destroys that enemy unit this phase, you gain 1 CP. But if your model does not destroy that enemy unit this phase, you cannot use this stratagem again for the rest of the battle. Oh, alright, so if you pop this off, you have to kill the model or you can't use this stratagem again. Alright, and then, but if you do kill him, you gain 1 CP. So basically, if you do the thing, you basically did it for free. If you don't, you spend a CP and lose the stratagem for the rest of the battle. It's a rather interesting interaction, but alright. And that's all they give us for the knights. Knights look really good. If I was a knight player, I'd be fairly happy with that. So we're going to jump over into Chaos Knights, see if they keep up with what Imperial Knights got. So right here we got a nice picture. We got the Corruption of Chivalry. And let's see what they give us for rules. What's their army rule is Harbingers of Dread. I can read. If your army faction is Chaos Knights, each model from your army with this ability gains a bonus depending on which Dread abilities are active for your army. See below. Once a Dread ability is active for your army, that ability applies until the end of the battle. Alright, so battle round 1. While an enemy unit is within 12 inches of this model, each time the enemy unit takes a battle shock or leadership test, subtract 1 from the test. Alright, so -1 leadership and battle shock. Basically starting round 1, so the whole game. And then starting round 3. Oh, so there's only 2 things now. So not these whole charts you pick from. So they really simplified that down. Doom and Darkness. Each time this model makes an unit's battle shock, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Alright, so this only matters if the unit you're attacking or attacking you is battle shocked. Hopefully your despair aura helps them get battle shocked. Triggers often people in battle shocked. So they're already at half strength. So they're not doing as much damage. Like, there's not as hard to kill. Like, I don't know. That's not super impressive to me. This is okay. It's okay. Let's see their detachment rule. Forged in Terror. The battle shock step of your opponent's command phase. If an enemy unit that is below its starting strength is within 12 inches of a Chaos Knight model from your army, that enemy unit might take a battle shock text. For the purpose of this ability, if the unit has a starting strength of 1, it is considered to be below starting strength level and has lost 1 or more wounds. Alright. So this, if you get within 12 inches and they have taken at least 1 casualty, they have to take battle shock tests. Alright, so that team makes this way better. Alright, so now reading the two together, the way they synergized, now this rule's actually alright. Okay, so putting them together, that's already pretty cool. I'm glad they showed the second part, or I would have really been just kind of not interested at all in that rule. Alright, then they show us a Knight to Spoiler. They give us both sides of his card. Model's Demon Breath Melted Gun can be replaced with one Diablo's Heavy Stubber. So this is just going through all the weapon options you can switch out. So you come stock with the Demon Breath Melted Gun, Reaper Chainsword, Titanic Feet, and Warp Strike Claw. Alright, so he's got a movement 10, toughness 12, 3 up save, 22 wounds, leadership 16, objective roll 10. Alright, so both knights were 22 wounds. Looks like they took a couple wounds. Then the Demon Breath Melt-A-Gun is Melta 2, 12 inches, 1 attack, 3 up to hit, strength 9, neg 4, d6. I'm not seeing anything on it that's different than a regular Melt-A-Gun. So I'm not sure why they just wanted to add Demon Breath to it. But range, attack, strength, AP, damage, all are the same as a regular Melt-A-Gun. Demon Breath Thermal Cannon, 24-inch range, 2d3 shots. Has blast though, and it's Melta 6. Ballistic skill 3, strength 12, neg 4, d6. So within 12 inches of a d6 plus 6. That's pretty solid. The Spoiler Battle Cannon, blast, rapid fire d6 plus 3. 72 inches, d6 plus 3, 3 up. Strength 10, neg 1, 3 damage. I believe that's the exact same as the Imperial Knight Battle Cannon. So it's going to be within 36, 2d6 plus 6, and installs blast. So, yep, very solid gun. The Spoiler Gatling Cannon, 36-inch range, 18 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 6, neg 2, 2 damage. Havoc Missile Pod, blast, indirect fire, so you can shoot it out of line of sight. 48-inch range, d6 plus 1 attack, hit 3s to hit, strength 5, AP 0, 1 damage. A heavy dark flamer, ignores cover torrent, 12 inches, d6 shots, auto hits, strength 5, neg 1, 1 damage. Don't see anything different there from just a heavy flamer, I don't think. That is like adding extra names to the Chaos Knight stuff, I guess. Diablo's Heavy Stubber, rapid fire 3, 36-inch range, 3 shots, 6 at 18, 3 up to hit, strength 5, AP 0, 1 damage. Ruined Spear Rocket Pod, 48 inches, 3 to hit, 3 attacks, 3 to hit, strength 8, neg 2, d6 damage. Hellstorm Autocannons, Anti-Fly 2+, Twin Linked. Alright, so you're going to be wounding things with Fly on a 2, critical wounding them on a 2, and then re-rolling your wounds. 48-inch range, 3 shots, 3 up to hit, strength 7, neg 1, 2 damage. Alright, then you got your Reaper Chainsword. It's got a streak and a strike and a sweep. 4 attacks goes to 12, hits on 3s both. Strength 14 goes to strength 9, neg 4 to neg 3, 6 to 2 damage. Alright, then your Titanic Feet are 4 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 8, neg 1, 2 damage. Warp Strike Claw has a strike and a sweep as well. 4 attacks goes to 8, 3 plus hit on both. Strength 20 goes to strength 10, neg 3 to neg 2, 8 damage to 3 damage. Alright, so it's got the Titanic Feet and these, but I'm not seeing extra attack on anything. Like if they'd given Titanic Feet extra attacks, you could swing this and swing one of your weapons and that. That'd have been nice, but I don't see why you would choose the Titanic Feet if you come stuck with one of your weapons here, unless you can swap that out. Warp Strike Claw. Alright, so you can swap the claw out for a shooting weapon. And where does it say you can gain the chainsword? There it is. Oh, so does he come with... What's he come with? Where does it tell us? Tears Melt-A-Gun, chainsword. Or so he comes with a chainsword and the Warp Strike Claw, but you can drop them both for combat weapons or for shooting weapons, and then you do the Titanic Feet. Alright, so that makes a little more sense to me. So same rules as the other, except he has Abhorrent. I'm not sure what that does yet. But Towering, Titanic, and Walker. Then they give us the Knight Abominant. 10-inch move, T12, 3 up save, 22 wounds, leadership 6, 10 of dex control. He has the Diablo's Heavy Stubber as well, just the same as it was up there. And he has the Volkite Combuster, devastating wounds, so 6 wounds will do mortals. 30-inch range, 9 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 12, AP 0 though, but 3 damage. So against anything with really good armor save, you're going to be hoping for the 6s to wound to push that mortals through. Bale Mace has extra attacks, so you'll be swinging that along with your Electro Scourge, which has sustained hits 1. So your Bale Mace is 3 attacks, hits on 3, strength 8, neg 1, 2 damage. And your Electro Scourge is 9 attacks, hits on 3, strength 10, neg 2, 3 damage. Alright, that's solid. Deadly Demise D6, Harbingers of Dread, Super Heavy Walker, Vortex Terrors, Psychic. At the start of your shooting phase, alright, so you do this in the movement phase, you do mortal wounds to them, and then this pops off in the shooting phase. And then you also have your other rule that if you're within 12 of them anyway, you may make them take battle shocks, and just for being taken wounds, and if they already popped a mortal. Alright, so this stuff really synergizes together. If you look any of it in a void, it's okay, but once it all starts stacking the buffs and the layers together, it's really kind of pretty solid, because I think Battle Shock's going to be huge. Turning off people's objective control, not to mention the buffs it gives you, and then stopping them from using stratagems, making them take damage if they try to fall out of combat with your knights. Alright, that's solid. And then once he's down to 7 wounds, subtract 1 on the hit roll, 5 up invul, only against range, probably the same here, yep. Alright, and then a weapon spotlight to give us the Desecrator Laser Destructor. 72-inch range, 3 to hit, 3 attacks, hits on 2s, strength 18, neg 4d6 plus 3 damage. Alright, that's decent. No, he doesn't have any bonus rules on him, so he's just flat with the stat line gives you. And then they give us the Warp Strike Claw, which has a strike and a sweep. I believe we just read it up there, but look at it again. 4 attacks to 8, both hit on 3s, 20 to 10, neg 3 to neg 2, 8 to 3. Alright. Yeah, that's interesting that they give us the data sheet for that, but they also gave it up there. They could have just given us a whole different weapon. Then giving us some stratagems. We got Dreadhounds. At the start of your shooting phase or the start of the fight phase, 2 or more War Dog units from your army and 1 enemy unit that is an eligible target for each of those selected War Dog units. Until the end of the phase, the selected War Dog units can only target that enemy unit, but all the weapons equipped by those War Dog models gain the Sustained Hits 1 ability. In addition, if that enemy unit is battle shocked until the end of the phase, each time a selected War Dog model makes an attack against that enemy unit, an unmodified hit roll of 5+ scores a critical hit. Alright, so you use this, and 2 or more of your War Dog units get to shoot the same unit, and they gain Sustained Hits 1, but if that unit is battle shocked, they're going to be getting the extra hits on 5s. That's okay. Not sure it's amazing, but it's okay. And then that's all they give us. I think both knights look good. The Chaos looks like it synergizes a little more, like has the rules compounding on each other. Imperial Knights, just the flat data sheets and rules just by themselves looked good, but as a whole, I think they're both going to be pretty good, especially if you can make people keep failing battle shock tests and their objectives and stuff. That will really help swing primary in your favor. And in the end, that's what it really comes down to, scoring points. Alright, well, thanks for hanging out with me. This is the last faction focus for now until they start releasing some next week. I'm caught up on all the ones I was behind, and